Welcome to the ISTQB CT-GenAI exam prep series by AmitAutomates. In this video, Chapter 2A, Prompt Engineering, Structure and Techniques. You will practice 30 questions, each with 4 segments. The question is read aloud, then a pause screen gives you time to choose, then the correct answer is revealed, then a full explanation follows. Every question shows its learning objective code and K level. This content is based on the official ISTQB CT-GenAI syllabus. Let's begin. Question 1. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K2. A test engineer writes the following prompt component. Analyze the following data sources, test execution reports from the last sprint, system monitoring logs from production, and performance benchmark results. Which prompt component does this represent? Your options are A. Context, as it provides background information about the test environment and testing history. B. Input, as it specifies the data sources that the LLM will process to perform the analysis task. C. Constraints, as it lists restrictions on how the analysis should be approached. D. Output format, as it defines the expected structure of the LLM's analysis results. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B, input, as it specifies the data sources that the LLM will process to perform the analysis task. Explanation. This prompt component lists specific data sources, test reports, monitoring logs, performance benchmarks that will be processed by the LLM. This is the input component. Context provides background about the environment. Constraints restrict the analysis approach. Output format specifies how results should be presented. The key distinction is what to process, input versus background, restrictions, or presentation instructions. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 2. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K2. A tester adds this line to a prompt. Present your findings as a prioritized list with each issue assigned a severity rating of critical, high, medium, or low. Which prompt component does this represent? Your options are A. Instructions, as it tells the LLM what analysis task to perform on the test results. B. Constraints, as it restricts the number and types of issues the LLM can identify. C. Output format, as it specifies how the LLM should structure and present its response. D. Context, as it provides background information about the severity classification system in use. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, output format, as it specifies how the LLM should structure and present its response. Explanation. This line specifies the presentation structure, a prioritized list with severity ratings which matches output format guidance on how the LLM should format its response. Instructions would tell the LLM what task to perform. Constraints would restrict the analysis process. Context would provide background about the system under test. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 3. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K1. Which of the following prompt elements best represents the role component in the 6-component prompt structure? Your options are A. Review the following 50 test cases and identify any that overlap in coverage. B. You are a senior test architect with 10 years of experience in API testing for financial systems. C. The system under test is a REST API for a banking application processing international transfers. D. Do not include any test cases that require manual intervention or live payment processing. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. You are a senior test architect with 10 years of experience in API testing for financial systems. Explanation. The role component defines who the LLM is acting as. It establishes the persona, expertise, and perspective. Option B explicitly assigns a persona, senior test architect with 10 years of experience. Option A is an instruction, what to do. Option C is context, background about the system. Option D is a constraint, what to exclude. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 4. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K3. A tester writes, our project is a mobile banking app in its final regression cycle before a major release. The test team of 4 engineers has 2 days remaining and a backlog of 300 untested cases. Which prompt component is this? Your options are A. Role. It defines the LLM's persona and expertise for the task. B. Instructions. It tells the LLM what to do with the test backlog. C. Context. It provides background information about the project, timeline, and team situation. D. Constraints. It lists the restrictions and limitations the LLM must work within. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, context. It provides background information about the project, timeline, and team situation. Explanation. Context provides background information about the project environment, situation, and relevant conditions. This element describes the project type, phase, team size, timeline, and backlog, all background information that helps the LLM understand the situation. It does not define a persona, role, give a task, instructions, or restrict the approach, constraints. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 5. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K1. Which prompt component directly tells the LLM what task to perform as opposed to providing background, data, or formatting guidance? Your options are A. Role, B. Context, C. Instructions, D. Output format. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, instructions. Explanation. The instructions component is the core directive. It tells the LLM exactly what action to take. Example, identify all test conditions, generate Gherkin scenarios, summarize the defects by severity. Role defines the LLM's persona. Context gives background. Output format specifies how the response should be structured. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 6. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K2. A tester writes in a prompt, limit your response to a maximum of 5 test scenarios. Do not generate scenarios for edge cases. Use only the acceptance criteria provided. Do not infer requirements. Which prompt component is this? Your options are A. Instructions. It defines the specific testing task the LLM must perform. B. Constraints. It restricts what the LLM can include, infer, or produce. C. Output format. It specifies the structure of the LLM's response. D. Context. It gives the LLM background about the scope of the testing effort. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Constraints. It restricts what the LLM can include, infer, or produce. Explanation. Constraints limit what the LLM should or should not do. Here, maximum 5 scenarios, no edge cases, no inferred requirements. This is restriction, not task definition, instructions, structural formatting, output format, or background information, context. Constraints help control the scope and reliability of LLM outputs. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 7. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K3. A complete prompt for an LLM-powered testing tool includes a persona definition, system background, a task directive, the test data to analyze, output restrictions, and a table format specification. How many of the 6 standard prompt components does this prompt include? Your options are A. 3. Only the task directive, data, and format specification are standard components. B. 4. The persona, background, task directive, and format specification are standard. C. 5. The output restrictions are not a standard component. D. 6. Role, context, instructions, input data, constraints, and output format are all present. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option D. 6. Role, context, instructions, input data, constraints, and output format are all present. Explanation. The 6 standard prompt components defined in the CT-GenAI syllabus are role, persona definition, context, system background, instructions, task directive, input data, test data to analyze, constraints, output restrictions, and output format, table format specification. All 6 are present in this prompt. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 8. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K3. A tester submits the following prompt: generate test cases for the checkout feature. Which key prompt components are missing that would most improve output quality? Your options are A. Only the output format is missing, the instruction is sufficient. B. Role, context, constraints, and output format are all missing, leaving only a vague instruction. C. Only the input data is missing, the instruction and context are implicit. D. Only the constraints are missing, the LLM can infer the rest from the instruction. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Role, context, constraints, and output format are all missing, leaving only a vague instruction. Explanation. The prompt generate test cases for the checkout feature contains only a bare instruction. It lacks role, no expert persona, context, no background about the system, technology, or project, constraints, no restrictions on scope or format, and output format, no specification of how test cases should be structured. All four missing components significantly impact output quality and relevance. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 9. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty Level K2. A tester provides the prompt, return results in a Gherkin format with given within steps, one scenario per test case, each with a descriptive scenario title. Which component does this represent and why? Your options are A. Instructions, because it tells the LLM to generate Gherkin test cases. B. Constraints, because it limits the number of steps per scenario. C. Output format, because it specifies how the LLM should structure and present its response. D. Context, because it provides background about how the team writes test cases. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, output format, because it specifies how the LLM should structure and present its response. Explanation. Specifying the structure of the response, Gherkin format, given within steps, one scenario per test case, descriptive titles, is the output format component. It does not describe what task to do, instructions, or why, context. Although it mentions Gherkin, the key purpose is defining the form of the output, not the task itself. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 10. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty Level K2. Which of the following correctly identifies the role component in a prompt for an LLM-assisted defect analysis task? Your options are A. Analyze the 120 defect reports attached below and identify the top 5 root cause categories. B. The project is a cloud-based HR system that has recently migrated from on-premises infrastructure. C. You are an expert software quality analyst specializing in root cause analysis for enterprise applications. D. Present your findings as a ranked table with columns, root cause, frequency, recommended action. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. You are an expert software quality analyst specializing in root cause analysis for enterprise applications. Explanation. Option C explicitly establishes the LLM's persona as an expert quality analyst. This is the role component. Option A is an instruction, what to do. Option B is context, background about the project. Option D is output format, how to present results. The role sets who the LLM is, not what it should do or what it knows about the environment. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 11. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty Level K3. A test team wants to use few-shot prompting to generate additional test cases following an established pattern. What should they include in the prompt? Your options are A. A general description of the objective so the LLM creates an optimized prompt automatically. B. A chain of sequential prompts where each output becomes the input for the next generation step. C. Multiple existing test cases as examples that demonstrate the format and coverage patterns to replicate. D. A system-level instruction that persists across all future prompting sessions without being repeated. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, multiple existing test cases as examples that demonstrate the format and coverage patterns to replicate. Explanation. Few-shot prompting involves providing the LLM with multiple examples, few shots, that demonstrate the desired output pattern. The LLM then replicates that pattern for new cases. Option A describes meta-prompting. Option B describes prompt chaining. Option D describes a system prompt. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 12. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K2. Which of the following correctly describes the three prompting techniques, few-shot prompting, prompt chaining, and meta-prompting? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting decomposes a task into sequential steps, prompt chaining provides examples, meta-prompting allows testers to manually refine prompts. B. Few-shot prompting provides examples to guide the LLM, prompt chaining decomposes tasks into multiple sequential prompts, meta-prompting uses AI to iteratively refine its own prompts. C. Meta-prompting breaks a complex task into step-by-step subtasks, prompt chaining provides illustrative examples, few-shot prompting optimizes prompts through manual iteration. D. Prompt chaining provides guidance without examples, meta-prompting relies on tester-defined wording, few-shot prompting uses AI to auto-generate prompts. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Few-shot prompting provides examples to guide the LLM, prompt chaining decomposes tasks into multiple sequential prompts, meta-prompting uses AI to iteratively refine its own prompts. Explanation. Few-shot prompting supplies examples to illustrate the desired output. Prompt chaining decomposes a complex task into sequential prompts where each output feeds the next. Meta-prompting uses the LLM itself to improve or generate prompts from a general objective description. The other options incorrectly swap these definitions. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 13. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. A tester gives the LLM a general objective, I want to generate a comprehensive set of API test cases for a payment service, and asks the LLM to first create an optimized, structured prompt for that objective, then use it to generate the test cases. Which technique is being used? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting, the general objective serves as an implicit example for the LLM to replicate. B. Prompt chaining, the tester chains the objective statement with the test case generation step. C. Meta-prompting, the LLM is asked to generate or refine the prompt itself before producing the final output. D. Zero-shot prompting, no examples or intermediate steps are provided to the LLM. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. Meta-prompting, the LLM is asked to generate or refine the prompt itself before producing the final output. Explanation. Meta-prompting involves asking the LLM to first create or refine a prompt from a general description of the objective, then use that refined prompt to produce the final output. The LLM is effectively prompting itself. This is distinct from few-shot, which uses examples, and prompt chaining, which breaks a task into sequential dependent steps with specific outputs. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 14. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. A test team is analyzing a complex system failure. They use the LLM in 3 sequential steps. 1. Summarize the error logs. 2. Map the summary to known failure patterns. 3. Recommend the most likely root cause and corrective test actions. Which technique is this? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting. 3 examples are provided to guide the root cause analysis. B. Prompt chaining. A complex task is decomposed into sequential prompts where each output feeds the next. C. Meta-prompting. The LLM refines the analysis objective before performing the root cause identification. D. Zero-shot prompting. The LLM performs all 3 steps in a single unguided prompt. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Prompt chaining. A complex task is decomposed into sequential prompts where each output feeds the next. Explanation. Prompt chaining breaks a complex task into multiple sequential prompts where each output becomes the input for the next prompt. Here, log summary, step 1 output, feeds failure pattern mapping, step 2 input, which then feeds root cause recommendation, step 3. This is the defining characteristic of prompt chaining as described in the CT-GenAI syllabus. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 15. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K2. Which of the following is a key advantage of prompt chaining over submitting a single complex prompt? Your options are A. Prompt chaining reduces the number of tokens used, making it more cost-efficient than a single long prompt. B. Prompt chaining enables each step to be verified and refined before being passed to the next, improving accuracy on complex multi-step tasks. C. Prompt chaining eliminates the need for a role component since each prompt step provides its own context. D. Prompt chaining generates more creative outputs because the LLM is given more freedom at each step. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Prompt chaining enables each step to be verified and refined before being passed to the next, improving accuracy on complex multi-step tasks. Explanation. The primary advantage of prompt chaining is that each intermediate output can be reviewed and, if necessary, corrected before it is passed as input to the next step. This reduces error propagation and improves accuracy on complex tasks that have multiple dependent stages. Prompt chaining does not necessarily reduce token usage, eliminate the role component, or increase creativity. Its value is in structured, verifiable step-by-step processing. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 16. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. A tester provides an LLM with 3 pairs of input test requirements and corresponding Gherkin scenarios as examples, then asks it to generate Gherkin scenarios for 5 new requirements following the same structure. Which technique is this? Your options are A. Meta-prompting. The examples allow the LLM to refine its prompt before generating. B. Prompt chaining. Each example requirement and its Gherkin scenario form a link in the chain. C. Few-shot prompting. Concrete examples are provided to guide the LLM's output pattern. D. Zero-shot prompting. No specific task instructions are given, only example pairs. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. Few-shot prompting. Concrete examples are provided to guide the LLM's output pattern. Explanation. Providing multiple input-output example pairs, requirement Gherkin scenario, to guide the LLM's generation for new inputs is the definition of few-shot prompting. The examples act as shots that demonstrate the expected output format and reasoning pattern. Meta-prompting involves LLM-driven prompt creation. Prompt chaining uses sequential dependent steps, not example pairs. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 17. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. When would a tester most appropriately choose meta-prompting over few-shot prompting? Your options are A. When the tester has several existing test cases that can serve as examples for generating additional similar test cases. B. When the tester has a clear idea of the final output format and wants to demonstrate it explicitly to the LLM. C. When the tester is unsure how to construct an effective prompt and wants the LLM to suggest an optimized prompt structure first. D. When the task can be broken into multiple sequential steps where each step's output feeds the next. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. When the tester is unsure how to construct an effective prompt and wants the LLM to suggest an optimized prompt structure first. Explanation. Meta-prompting is best chosen when the tester does not know how to write an effective prompt for a given objective and wants the LLM to create or optimize the prompt itself. If good examples exist, option A, few-shot is preferred. If the output format is clear, option B, output format specification within a direct prompt is better. If the task has sequential steps, option D, prompt chaining is more appropriate. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 18. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. A tester using prompt chaining for test case generation notices that step 3 produces poor results. What is the most likely root cause of this? Your options are A. The system prompt was not defined clearly enough at the start of the session. B. The few-shot examples provided were insufficient in number to guide step 3. C. The output from step 2, which serves as input for step 3, contained errors or ambiguities that propagated forward. D. The meta-prompt used to create step 3's prompt was too general to guide accurate output. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. The output from step 2, which serves as input for step 3, contained errors or ambiguities that propagated forward. Explanation. In prompt chaining, each step's output becomes the next step's input. If step 3 produces poor results, The most likely cause is that Step 2's output, which serves as Step 3's input, contained errors, gaps, or ambiguities that propagated forward. This is a known risk of prompt chaining. Errors compound across steps. Reviewing and validating intermediate outputs before passing them to the next step is critical. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 19. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty Level K2. Which statement about few-shot prompting is correct in a software testing context? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting works best when there are no existing test artifacts to use as examples. B. Few-shot prompting requires the examples to be provided in a specific JSON format for the LLM to process them. C. Few-shot prompting leverages existing test artifacts, such as test cases or requirements, as examples to guide the LLM in generating similar outputs for new inputs. D. Few-shot prompting is less effective than zero-shot prompting for structured test output generation tasks. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. Few-shot prompting leverages existing test artifacts, such as test cases or requirements, as examples to guide the LLM in generating similar outputs for new inputs. Explanation. Few-shot prompting works by providing existing test artifacts as examples, the shots, to guide the LLM in generating similar outputs. It is most effective precisely when relevant examples exist, the opposite of option A. Examples do not need to be in JSON format. And few-shot prompting is generally more effective than zero-shot for structured tasks because it gives the LLM concrete patterns to follow. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 20. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty Level K2. Which statement best describes the role of a system prompt in an LLM-powered testing application? Your options are A. A system prompt remains constant throughout the interaction session and establishes the fundamental framework for how the LLM should respond. B. A system prompt is dynamically generated based on each user query to provide context-specific instructions. C. A system prompt adjusts its instructions dynamically based on the evolving context of each user message. D. A system prompt is visible to the user and includes specific task instructions that the user can modify. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option A. A system prompt remains constant throughout the interaction session and establishes the fundamental framework for how the LLM should respond. Explanation. The system prompt stays constant throughout the interaction session and establishes the fundamental framework, persona, constraints, tone, domain context for how the LLM should respond. It is hidden from the end user, does not adjust dynamically, and is separate from user prompts which are entered per interaction. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 21. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty Level K2. A test organization's LLM testing tool always responds in the context of their specific test management framework, uses their severity taxonomy, and maintains a formal tone regardless of how casually the user phrases their request. Which component makes this behavior possible? Your options are A. prompt chaining, the tool chains a formatting step after every user query to impose the taxonomy and tone. B. The system prompt, it establishes the persistent context, taxonomy, and tone that shape every LLM response. C. Few short examples, the tool prepends example responses in the correct tone before each user query. D. The output format component, the user's prompt always includes a formatting instruction in the background. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. The system prompt, it establishes the persistent context, taxonomy, and tone that shape every LLM response. Explanation. A system prompt is designed exactly for this use case. It is set once, persists across all interactions in the session, and shapes every response, including tone, terminology, taxonomy, and domain context. This allows the LLM to behave consistently with the organization's standards regardless of how individual user prompts are worded. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 22. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty Level K2. Which of the following statements about system prompts is incorrect? Your options are A. System prompts are hidden from the end user and set by the application developer or administrator. B. System prompts can define the LLM's persona, response constraints, and domain context. C. System prompts change dynamically in response to each new user message to remain contextually relevant. D. System prompts remain constant throughout a session, establishing a stable foundation for all responses. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. System prompts change dynamically in response to each new user message to remain contextually relevant. Explanation. Option C is incorrect. System prompts do not change dynamically in response to user messages. By definition, the system prompt is fixed at the start of a session and remains constant. It is precisely this constancy that makes system prompts useful for enforcing consistent LLM behavior. Options A, B, and D are all accurate descriptions of system prompts as defined in the CT-GenAI syllabus. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 23. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty Level K2. How does a user prompt differ from a system prompt in an LLM-powered testing application? Your options are A. A user prompt establishes the fundamental framework for the session. A system prompt is the specific task sent per interaction. B. A user prompt contains the specific task or query for each interaction. A system prompt sets the persistent session-wide context and constraints. C. A user prompt is hidden from the LLM and only visible to the application. A system prompt is what the LLM directly processes. D. A user prompt and a system prompt serve the same function but are processed in different sequences. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. A user prompt contains the specific task or query for each interaction. A system prompt sets the persistent session-wide context and constraints. Explanation. In an LLM-powered testing application, the system prompt sets persistent session-wide context, persona, constraints, domain. it doesn't change per interaction. The user prompt is the specific query or task submitted by the user for each interaction. Option A reverses their roles. Option C inverts their visibility. Option D incorrectly equates them. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 24. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty level K3. A test team lead configures their LLM testing tool so that it only ever responds with test-related outputs and refuses to engage with requests unrelated to testing. Which mechanism most directly enables this restriction? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting. Examples of refusals are provided to train the model's behavior. B. Prompt chaining. A validation step checks whether each query is test-related before the LLM responds. C. The system prompt. It includes a constraint that restricts the LLM's scope to testing-related responses only. D. Output format. The required format is structured in a way that can only be populated with test content. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. The system prompt. It includes a constraint that restricts the LLM's scope to testing-related responses only. Explanation. A system prompt can include constraints that define what the LLM should and should not respond to, including restricting it to a specific domain. By embedding a scope constraint, only respond to questions related to software testing in the system prompt, the LLM maintains this restriction across all user interactions throughout the session. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 25. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty level K2. Which of the following is not a purpose that a system prompt can serve in an LLM-powered testing application? Your options are A. Defining the LLM's expert persona for the session. Example, you are a senior test automation engineer. B. Establishing domain-specific terminology and conventions used by the test organization. C. Dynamically updating the LLM's knowledge base with new test results as they arrive during the session. D. Setting the tone and formality level for all LLM responses during the session. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C. Dynamically updating the LLM's knowledge base with new test results as they arrive during the session. Explanation. Dynamically updating the LLM's knowledge base with new test results is not something a system prompt can do. It is static and set at session start. A system prompt can define a persona, A, establish domain terminology, B, and set tone, D. To incorporate new data dynamically, RAG or other runtime data retrieval mechanisms are needed, not system prompts. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 26. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K3. A tester is asked to write a prompt for generating API test scenarios. They write, you are a senior QA engineer. Our API uses REST with OAuth 2.0 authentication. Generate 10 negative test scenarios for the authentication endpoint. Input, the endpoint's OpenAPI specification. Limit scenarios to authentication failures only. Return results in a numbered list with title, steps, and expected result. How many of the 6 prompt components has the tester included? Your options are A. 3, role, instructions, output format. B. 4, role, context, instructions, output format. C. 5, role, context, instructions, input data, output format. D. 6, role, context, instructions, input data, constraints, output format. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option D. 6, role, context, instructions, input data, constraints, output format. Explanation. All 6 components are present: role, senior QA engineer, context, REST API with OAuth 2.0, instructions, generate 10 negative test scenarios for the authentication endpoint, input data, the endpoint's OpenAPI specification, constraints, limit to authentication failures only, output format, numbered list with title, steps, expected result. This is a well-structured comprehensive prompt. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 27. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty level K3. Which of the following scenarios best demonstrates the advantage of few-shot prompting over zero-shot prompting for test case generation? Your options are A. When the tester wants the LLM to independently decide the best test case format without any guidance. B. When the tester has existing test cases in a specific proprietary format that the LLM should replicate for new scenarios. C. When the tester wants to decompose a complex testing objective into multiple sequential LLM calls. D. When the tester does not have any existing test artifacts and needs the LLM to generate completely novel outputs. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. When the tester has existing test cases in a specific proprietary format that the LLM should replicate for new scenarios. Explanation. The primary advantage of few-shot over zero-shot prompting is that it allows the tester to demonstrate a specific format or pattern through examples. When the organization uses a proprietary or non-standard test case format, few-shot prompting lets the LLM replicate that exact structure rather than generating in its default format. Option A is zero-shot. Option C is prompt chaining. Option D suits zero-shot since no examples exist. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. Question 28. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.1. Difficulty level K2. Which combination of prompt components directly controls the scope of what the LLM should and should not produce? Your options are A. Role and context. B. Instructions and constraints. C. Input data and output format. D. Role and output format. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. Instructions and constraints. Explanation. Instructions define what the LLM should do, the task scope, while constraints define what it should not do or what limits apply. Together they control the scope of the LLM's output, what is in and out of bounds. Role sets persona. Context sets background. Input data specifies what to process. Output format specifies structure. Low GenAI 2.1.1 K2. Question 29. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.3. Difficulty Level K3. A test manager configures a system prompt that includes the organization's test terminology glossary, quality gate definitions, and a rule that all outputs must include a risk rating. After deployment, a tester asks the LLM to help write a user story. The LLM declines and says it can only assist with testing-related tasks. What most likely explains this behavior? Your options are A. The output format specification prevented the LLM from producing non-test content. B. The system prompt included a scope constraint restricting the LLM to testing activities, which persisted across the session. C. The few-shot examples in the system prompt only covered testing scenarios, so the LLM had no pattern to follow for user stories. D. The LLM detected that user stories fall outside the metadata in the training data and refused based on its own policy. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option B. The system prompt included a scope constraint restricting the LLM to testing activities, which persisted across the session. Explanation. The system prompt is the component that persists across all interactions and can include scope constraints. If the system prompt restricts the LLM to testing-related tasks only, it will decline all non-testing requests throughout the session. This is the intended use of system prompt constraints to shape LLM behavior consistently in a testing application. Low GenAI 2.1.3 K2. Question 30. Learning Objective GenAI 2.1.2. Difficulty Level K3. Which prompting technique would be most effective when a tester needs to extract information from a large document and use it to generate test cases and wants each step to be independently verifiable before proceeding? Your options are A. Few-shot prompting, provide several example document to test case transformation pairs. B. Meta-prompting, ask the LLM to first design the optimal prompt for document extraction and test generation. C. Prompt chaining, use step 1 to extract key information from the document, verify the extraction, then pass it to step 2 to generate test cases. D. Zero-shot prompting, give the LLM the document and ask it to generate test cases in a single prompt. Take a moment. What is your answer? The correct answer is option C, prompt chaining. Use step 1 to extract key information from the document, verify the extraction, then pass it to step 2 to generate test cases. Explanation. Prompt chaining is ideal here because it breaks the task into independently verifiable steps. Step 1, extract information, can be checked before step 2, generate test cases, uses it. This prevents extraction errors from silently corrupting the test cases. Few-shot requires examples. Meta-prompting focuses on prompt creation, not step-by-step verifiability. Zero-shot risks errors propagating undetected. Low GenAI 2.1.2 K2. That's all 30 questions for Chapter 2A, Prompt Engineering, Structure and Techniques. Well done for completing this chapter. If this helped, please like the video and subscribe to AmitAutomates for the next chapter in the series. The full CT-GenAI playlist covers all 5 chapters across 6 videos. Good luck with your ISTQB exam.